Just a little over a year ago, I made one of the most crucial decisions in my life to regain my health. I was almost 340 pounds. I was dealing with chronic inflammation. I was slowly gaining weight. I was getting more depressed every time I saw the scales, and I was getting discouraged, and I was affecting my job so bad to the point that all I wanted to do was sit. And now, hey y'all, Kelly from Broken Carnivore. It has been an incredible, amazing journey so far this year. I have now been on the carnivore diet for over a year. It's like day 370, 371, somewhere in there. And the benefits from this diet, besides losing 70 pounds, the chronic inflammation is just gone. I have mental clarity, the brain fog gone. I know I wasn't diagnosed with sleep apnea, but I know the chronic inflammation that was in my body. I can sleep better. I sleep throughout the night. It's gone. The hip pain, the right hip, yeah, there's a lot of work I have, but that chronic inflammation in that arthritis that built up there from the plants that I ate in the past 4 years, it's not there. I have the work to do, but it's been an amazing journey. And over a year ago, I made this big decision to do this. And I remember that day, the day that I started it, because I was in an apartment. We just had this apartment flooded 2-3 weeks prior. And we had to have the flooring replaced because it got messed up by accident. And so we decided we're going to put new flooring in, but it had these baseboards in there where it was just soaks up that moisture. So this apartment's probably prone to flood because it's in a lower level. Want to make sure we prevent from having to do this again. So I wanted to rip out the baseboards, and I was waiting for my manager. And so as soon as he come in, I told him, okay, come into the apartment. I got a game plan. But also this time I was discouraged. I was depressed. It's affecting my job. I was so inflamed. I couldn't hardly walk. I couldn't hardly move. My foot was so extremely sore because I had plantar fasciitis. I had hip pain so chronically in my right hip. My left knee was hurting. I don't know what's going on. I'm tired of this. And so I told him what the game plan is. I don't know how we're going to get this done, but I said, I got to go home. I'm going to go home and I'm just going to rest, because that's what I always did. I used to take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen a day in the afternoon. So I was so chronically inflamed because of this. It was affecting my job. It was affecting my mental health. I was slowly gaining weight. I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to have hip surgery. And I was so discouraged. At this time, I was on blood pressure medicine from a previous bad habit of chewing tobacco that restricted my veins and caused me to have high blood pressure. I caused that from the poor choice of tobacco. But I still was taking it 5 milligrams a day. On top of the ibuprofen that I was taking, nothing seemed to help. And I was like, I'm going to go home and rest. So I decided, well, you know what? I'm just going to hold off. We'll go ahead. I went back. I sat for a bit. And now I was always relying on my tech. This point, I was relying on my tech. I'm a working supervisor. I'm a working maintenance supervisor. I've been in the maintenance field for 25 years. First 8 years, I was in industrial maintenance. And the last 15 years, I was in 17 years in apartment maintenance. And, this time of the year is our busy season. This is our, what we call turn season. This is we're getting the apartments ready right before school starts. Granted, our apartment complex is not student based. It is a variety, but majority of them are students that comes in and people move out. Well, I told my what I wanted to do here. So I decided to hold it out. I went ahead and we ripped the baseboards out. Got the baseboards out, get it ready, because I want them out before the flooring. So as time goes, I felt a little bit better. So because the moving around does help. So I decided that day, I made that decision. I'm going to give it a try. Let's see what it does. So I went to McDonald's. I got the burger patties. And then I went home. And then I went home, made it through the day, and went home. And I was just going to rest. I decided I'm hungry. So I had ground beef, 4 eggs. I had about 2 pounds of ground beef, 4 eggs. I had bacon. I ate every bit of it. I was stuffed. And I was like, okay, I decided to go ahead and do a weigh. No, normally you're not supposed to weigh yourself, but I decided to go ahead and do a C. All of a sudden I get on there. I'm like, wow, I lost not just a little bit of weight, but I lost almost 2 pounds. And I decided to record it. Well, I said, let's give it another day. And I did that Sunday, noticing some results, noticing I'm feeling better, noticing that I'm not as in pain. Comes around Monday, I'm like, here comes the dreaded Monday. I know by the end of the day, I'll be inflamed. It was a little bit, but not bad. Tuesday, we're putting the baseboards back in this apartment. It was amazing because not only that, I figured it would take almost all day, even to the end of the day, and I'll be so inflamed. We got the baseboards done in 3 hours, cut, put in place, everything, and it was amazing. Didn't feel hardly any pain. Yeah, towards the end of the day, it was a little bit inflamed in my right hip, but no pain hardly in my left foot, no pain in my left knee, and I can actually move around. It was incredible. So that day I said, okay, I heard that if you're going to do the carnivore diet, commit to the 30 days. So I said, I'm going to finish committing to 30 days. We'll see how this goes. Went on vacation to Nashville, walked around one day, over a half a day in Nashville, downtown Nashville. We walked and I felt great. A little bit of pain. The next day, we went over to the Grand Ole Opry area, the Opry House, and the mall. Walked in the mall. My daughter wanted to see a Boot Barn. We walked the entire mall to find this. Walked to find something to eat. I felt great. When I come back, this is why I made my decision. I am going to share my journey. And I'm going to give a shout out to Kerry Mann because he was one of the few that inspired me to not only to commit the 30 days on carnivore, but also to inspire me to share my story. I didn't know how I was going to do this channel. I just went ahead and started it. It wasn't great. I didn't like it. So, the thing is, as I was thinking about that, one case that one person I can reach out to help that relates to my journey. If it helps, it helps. And I'm so I decided to go ahead and give it a go. I didn't know how I was going to bring this channel about, but as I go, I was sharing my journey, sharing tips, sharing what mistakes I made, sharing some cooking stuff that I did. And a year later, it's been an amazing journey. Some of the goals that I made was I got to last weekend, July 26th, celebrated my 1-year carniversary in Montello, Wisconsin. It was great to meet Kerry Mann in person. It was great to meet the great Dr. Kiltz in person. I met them through their live streams, and it was amazing to meet all of them. I got to meet Dr. Tony Hampton, Dr. Nelson, not Dr. Lisa, Coach Lisa Pickard. She's, share her amazing journey. I can't remember. Her channel, I think, Linda, I think it's her name, her and her husband. She has the channel Midlife Carnivore, her incredible story, her incredible journey. And it was awesome. I got to meet a few of you that has subscribed to my channel. You were there, like Carnivore Cash, Carnivore Jerry in the middle of the forest. It was awesome to meet, and I am so thrilled that now I have made it through 1 year. So what now as I'm in my second year on Carnivore? What am I going to do now? Well, this is what I'm going to do now for my second year of Carnivore. It's going to be more of mind over body. I know that I am probably so close to my goal because now my weight has extremely slowed down. I'm still losing inches because when I started the carnivore diet, I was growing in my weight. My waist was growing back. I know I was at least a 48 waist. And now here I am. I'm in a 38 waist jeans. And I know that I went from 338.5. That was my first day. I recorded that. To now I am around 268 to 270. So it's in there. But yes, I noticing that my weight has slowed down. When your weight has slowed down extremely, it's either your body's going in a healing phase or you are getting so close to your weight goal. And I think for me, probably what I thought would be my weight, or what the experts say my weight should be, 173 to 200. I feel it's based on your body structure and how your body carries you. I feel that probably for me, it's around 220 to 250, somewhere in there, because I noticing that it's extremely slow, but the inches keeps on coming off. Where you measure for your waist, your true waist is, I know that I was 50 inches around when I first measured. Now I'm like 41 point, it's almost at a 40 inches. So that is very incredible. So I feel that my body's right now in a, what they call, as Kerry Mann says in one of his videos, there's 5 phases. And I highly recommend to watch it because you don't know what phase. I still feel that I'm in that phase 3 and maybe in phase 4, but I still feel in that phase 3 where I am actually in the healing mode, because I noticed recently a lot of my healing has gone into this phase, and because my weight had kind of stalled or slowly was going down, is, since February, is because I'm in this healing phase. And you didn't put the weight on overnight. Even though sometimes we put weight on so quickly, the weight didn't come on overnight. And a lot of times when our body's healing, we did not put a lot of, we didn't put that toxins and stuff overnight. It is years and years and years. I'm 47 years old. I probably have 40 some odd years of toxic stuff in my body, that not only from the standard diet, because we were taught this was okay to eat. I guarantee I've been addicted to sugar since I first got the taste of it when I was a baby. Because I was born in 78, and I grew up in the 80s when the nasty toxics, the chemicals, the dyes, all that they were put in the foods, where we were taught to eat a low carb, lean protein diet, mostly plant-based. This is what we eat because of the propaganda. That's the way I learned. Also, I grew up where everything was still in glass, even though the plastic was coming into it. But, first 18 years of my life, I was dealing with secondhand smoking. My dad smoked, and he's not only smoked in the house, he smoked in the vehicle. You had to deal with that. When I was around my brother, he smoked, and I had to deal with that secondhand smoking. So all that toxic nicotine secondhand smoke was in my body. I know that affected me big time. Not only that, in the diet, and all the chemicals and stuff, that was it. And then I made the stupidest mistake, because I hated smoking. I hated that cigarette smoke, but with peer pressure, I end up smoking. At age 19, I started smoking with all that. And then I quit. Then not only that, more of the standard diet, more of the toxins, the seed oils, all that over time. And then I don't know why I possessed. I started smoking again, but I quit. But then I discovered the chewing tobacco, and I started chewing. And it's not just like Red Man, the Red Man tobacco pouch, it was like Skull, Copenhagen, that stuff. The stuff that you put in your lip and then you absorb. And you think, oh, smoking's worse. No, you get that direct. It's the nicotine, the chemical toxin in that plant, what affects you. And it affected me big time. It affected me so much. It affected my marriage after I got married again. It affected a lot, my moods, everything. I didn't realize how bad it was. So I had that toxic. I suffer from ED from it. And when I discovered what it did, I had to quit. I ended up quitting, and I'm grateful that it's reversing. But it was the ketogenic diet and now the carnivore diet that discovered. So now I'm going to get back to year 2. What's going to be different for year 2? What am I adding? Well, one, I wanted to encourage more of you out there, encourage the people around me in my area and my friends, family and friends that it's totally up to you, but this is what it's doing for me. And I feel younger each day. I noticing the one thing that is really noticing, if you look, you'll see I have light gray hair on my sides. You see I have gray. And I'm talking about, it was to the point almost white. Here and here. I noticed in the last week, my hair color is starting to come back. And I have a dark brown hair. My hair is dark brown. And I'm like, nah, no way. I'm always going to have this gray hair. It's going to get grayer because you get older. I didn't realize that we are aging ourselves with the poison, the toxins that we put it, the choice of the habits, the drugs, the alcohol, the sugar causes this. We just say all stress and stuff. No, it's what we put in our body, and we put the proper food. And to me, I agree with Rick, Mopar Charger Rick, and I agree with him. What is the proper human diet? Because we're really not carnivores. We're more of an omnivore. And, I eat strawberries within season time. I got a strawberry beds out there. So I eat strawberries time to time. I eat avocados time to time. I love dill pickles. So there's some plants I eat time to time. And majority of my diet is carnivore. But the thing is, for year 2 for me is I'm going to have more mind over body. I am going to get more physical. Like, I got to stretch. I got to strengthen. If I want this hip stronger to avoid any kind of surgery, of hip replacement surgery, which I don't think I need, is to strengthen this. No matter how much it hurts, or no matter how much, if I can squat and I can't, I'm going to try to push myself. And if I can't do it, I'm going to reach out and get help, whatever I need. I was like, I want my mobility back. So that is one of the things I'm going to do, mind over body. Instead of, I can't be able to do this, so I can do. No, I can go a little further. I can do this. And that's what I'm going to have. The other one is I want to be able to encourage more. The other one is I'm going to start interpreting. I have done a longer fast than intermittent fasting, or OMID, is I want to do a longer term fast, because I think it's great that we need to have our stomachs empty and let our stomachs and guts rest, so we can be able to heal more. And I feel that autophagy of fasting is very important, because our bodies can eat all that damaged cells and get it out of our system. And so I want to do that. I want to start interpreting some longer term fast. I would like to try a 2-day dry fast in the wintertime when it's not as warm, maybe on a weekend when I'm at home and it's just nasty outside. I can't do nothing. I want to try to do a dry fast, because I heard those are amazing. So fasting is another thing. I want to learn more as I'm getting more confident in reaching out and get to know the other carnivores channels that are out there doing live streams, like Thomas from Prime Target Prime Rib, Bob, semi-retired Bob. I did some with Carrie Mann. I want to share my journey. I'm going to get to share I'm scheduled to share my journey with Thomas. I'm going to be chewing the fat with him on October 21st. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to email Carrie Mann because I want to share my journey. And basically, not only to share my journey, is this because I want to get more confident and I want to learn more about StreamYard because I haven't purchased it yet. And one of these days, I want to learn this and I want to get out there, do live streaming, and I want to get out there to get to know you and your stories as well. And that's the only way we can be able to communicate because we live all over the United States, we live all over the world, and it's amazing that we can share our journey because we all have the same focus here is we want to be healed. We want to be able to have that life. We want to thrive. It doesn't mean that we may not have the same healing story, but we all are in common. We're family and we want to encourage and help others. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm sharing my channel. I am so grateful that I have now 600 and almost 660 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. I am a small channel. I may be always a small channel, but I am very grateful that I can share my journey out there with you all, and I am so thankful. So if you like this content, you love this video today, can you do me a favor? Hit that like button, comment, say hi. Tell me how long you've been on the carnivore diet. If you're struggling, comment down below how I can help because we're here to encourage. We can't rely on the doctors, the medical government. Sometimes we have to take that step forward. If you want to thrive, you want to better your health, sometimes we have to take the reins ourselves and move. That's what I did a year ago. And it has been an amazing year. I'm looking forward to year 2. And, I got to go to a carnivore meetup. Now I want to help host one and help get one together in Missouri. I know we have a few here in Missouri that subscribe to my channel that follows Carrie Mann, follows Dr. Kiltz. We'd love to get a Healing Humanity meetup or a Kiltz Health meetup. We want to get one here in Missouri within the next year. So, because we have a lot of people in Missouri on carnivore. When you share your journey, you don't realize how many people are inspired and how many people you don't realize there are carnivore. And I'm looking forward to year 2. I'm looking forward to meeting more of you all. So, I am going to end this video. And these are encouraging words, but these are the most scariest words to me in the Bible. And this is from Jesus. If it offends you, it's not, I'm sorry, it's not from me. It's what's the words that Jesus spoke here. And I'm going to start with verse 21. And this was when he was this was towards the end of the Sermon on the Mount. So Matthew 7:21-23, I am reading from the Holman Christian Standard Bible. Whatever translation you have, just follow along. I will have the words on there, so you have the words. And I'm going to tell you, it's convicting me because I want to make sure that I'm in check because I don't want to hear these words. So here we go, starting in verse 21. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. 22. This will be some of us on this day. On that day, many will say to me, Lord, Lord, didn't we prophesy in your name, drive out demons in your name, and do many miracles in your name? Here it comes. The ones that scared the heck out of me. I don't want to hear it. It puts me to tears sometimes. And I get, humble myself because I know who he is. This is Jesus. This is God in the flesh. And he's speaking to the people on the Sermon on the Mount. And he says, then I will announce to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you lawbreakers. So if you feel those words are convicting, sometimes we need to get our hearts checked. And no matter what, we need to be reminded that those words need to be hidden in our hearts. So, like always, let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, and encourage and support one another.